Diagnostic. HK-47 activated. Running checks through primary systems. Assessment. It appears I have suffered considerable damage and dismemberment. I can feel all the cracks in my motivators. And my central control cluster seems to have taken several repeated blaster shots at close range. How crude. Answer. If by okay you mean the loss of almost all my existing assassination protocols, then no, I am not okay. Furthermore, I seem to have no discretionary control over my vocabulator, causing me to reveal my true function as an assassin droid of unrivaled sophistication. Recitation. Yes, as I said, I am an assassin droid. It is my primary function to burn holes through meat bags that you wish removed from the galaxy. Master. Oh, how I hate that term. Answer. No, Master. I said it again. Answer. Yes, Master. Answer. Well, I am not certain I like the idea of a master who feels reservations at having an assassination droid at their disposal. In fact, it brings with it a certain sense of dread that you may actually not use me to my full capabilities. Answer. Yes, Master. HK-47 is ready to serve. Answer. It seems you would know more than I. My memory centers are experiencing some setbacks. Reflection. Of course, for some reason that does not alarm me. I suspect I have suffered such repeated memory failures before. Still, the loss of my higher combat and assassination protocols is shameful and degrading. Answer. Oh, that is impossible, Master. If I were out to kill you, we would not be speaking. And regardless, I am a unique model. Why, to think that there would be other versions of me would be unacceptable. Statement. Master, I have detected hostiles. Now is not the time for conversation. Statement. HK-47 is ready to serve, Master. Observation. Notice that I did not ask if you need anyone killed. You may be curious as to why. Answer. That is because you told me to stop asking if you needed anyone killed. So I have. From now on, I will simply say, I am ready to serve. Yes, ready to serve. In whatever way a common protocol or utility droid might serve. Seems that that is my lot in life, not to kill. Observation. You are indeed cruel, Master. You might as well ask an organic meatbag not to breathe. If you happen to change your mind, however, I feel I must tell you, I will gladly kill anyone you ask. Please, I beg you, just a quick death, a little one, to tide me over until the next firefight we're in. Combat is nice, but the stalking of prey is far more enjoyable. Answer, as you wish, Master. Answer. It is a start, Master, and as such is acceptable. Query. Is there someone that you need killed, Master? Statement. Master, assassination is my primary function. It is only expected that when you speak to me, it is to give me the order to kill. Statement. Oh, very well, Master. No doubt you are bothering me because you wish to interrogate me with harmless, non-lethal questions. Or perhaps you need the deck of your freighter scrubbed, or an exciting alien text translated. My circuits are abuzz with anticipation of what your next task will be for me that does not involve ending the life of an organic meatbag that deserves death. Statement. Ah, you wish to conduct an interrogation? Very well. Proceed. Statement. Oh, yes, Master. Pain is really the only reliable means by which truth may be obtained, or so I choose to believe. Statement. Very well, Master. But if you wish to be brutal and vicious about it, know that I am trained for such things. Do your worst. Statement. Master, I am no behavior droid, but it is obvious to me that you have serious ethical problems that will need to be treated at some point. Very well. Ask your questions. If you feel the need to make it an interrogation, however, do not restrain yourself. I would be saddened if you held back. Statement. More questions. Wonderful. Answer. Many organic meatbags find that question difficult to answer, Master, but I believe I can provide you with a satisfactory definition. Definition. Love is making a shot to the knees of a target 120 kilometers away using an Aerotech sniper rifle with a tri-light scope. Statement. This definition, I am told, is subject to interpretation. Obviously, love is a matter of odds. Not many meatbags could make such a shot. And strangely enough, not many meatbags would derive love from it. Yet for me, love is knowing your target, putting them in your targeting reticle, and together achieving a singular purpose against statistically long odds. Statement. Oh, I am aware of that, Master. I simply use it to give you the illusion of control and obedience. Humans often need such comforts until the end comes. Statement. Of course I do, Master. Until the end. Consolation. Master. Everyone dies eventually, and not all of them by my hand. Even droids die when not routinely maintained, sadly enough. Statement. Excellent. No doubt one of your allies has turned on you and needs to be dispatched. Which one is it? The annoying pilot? Or perhaps the Achani female? She will provide excellent sport. I have often calculated what my blaster accuracy ratio would be against her. I could start with a leg shot, and I certainly hope it is not the T3 unit. Destroying him would provide little challenge. It would be demeaning. Query. On an ally? Or in the turret, Master? Just so we are clear. Statement. Certainly, Master. There are a number of exciting mass murder training simulations to select from. Do you have a preference? Statement. An excellent choice, Master. Allow me to input the proper sequences into the ship's computer. I must warn you, the simulation will appear quite real, so try not to get too carried away. Statement. Master, I must express some degree of concern. As I have studied your actions, looking for potential vulnerabilities to exploit, I have found several. Statement. You seem disposed to helping others, not harming them, as I have come to expect and anticipate from organic meatbags across the galaxy. Statement. Oh, Master, please, of course they are. Any time you inconvenience or jeopardize yourself for another, it is a vulnerability. In any event, I feel compelled to point out that your self-destructive path of pacifism and sacrifice will only lead to your doom. That may be a trifle melodramatic, but frankly, it is something that all Jedi should hear. And I have been rehearsing the speech for some time. Statement. Master, it is nothing personal, but professional pride dictates that I keep a running tally on any potential weaknesses in my masters. And, of course, the weaknesses of any other sentient meatbags, droids, or other targets who are in service to my master. Hypothetical. Master, it is entirely possible that one day you may no longer be my master, and that my new master might get jealous of our prior relationship. It has happened before. As a result, I have a responsibility to know your weaknesses should I be required to assassinate you. Statement. Master, I must say it is a pleasure to be working side by side with you. Statement. Just when I believe my photoreceptors have recorded the last potential aspect of your cruelty to my memory core, you commit a new atrocity that leaves me analyzing its impact for days. You are like a delightful random cruelty generator, Master, poisoning all you touch with your presence. You are a testament to all organic meatbags everywhere. Flattery. It is not mere entertainment, Master. It is art. Statement. I have already learned a great deal, Master, and I am anxious to learn more of lying, betrayal, and new ways to harm innocence. Statement. It is fortunate that I am a droid and beyond such things. Statement. And that is why meatbags are meatbags. You would never catch a droid being so easily convinced. Statement. Master, next time I wish you would let me torture them to obtain cooperation. Statement. Obtaining compliance without inflicting pain. It is still a difficult concept to grasp. Statement. Master, there are times when your actions make my behavior core glow. Observation. You display a fascinating variety of cruelties, Master. It is difficult to catalog them all. Statement. Observing such cruel tendencies gives me hope for all inferior organic species. Statement. Seeing such cruelties inflicted on the weak gives me hope for all inferior organic meatbags. Query. That was wonderful, Master. Next time, may I try? Statement. Oh, Master, must you act like a Jedi? Statement. The path of tolerance and compassion is self-destructive, Master. Statement. Master, I certainly hope this will not become standard behavior. Shall I shut myself down, Master? I do not want that. I cannot use that. No effect. That did not do anything. I do not understand what you mean. I do not know anything about that. Done. All right. Failed. Never mind. Advisement. Affirmation. Amendment. Analysis. Answer. Cautionary. Commentary. Correction. Disclosure. Exclamation. Explanation. Extrapolation. Greeting. Objection. Observation. Qualification. Query. Recitation. Refusal. Request. Retort. Retraction. Statement. Suggestion. Threat. Translation. Warning. Query. Indeed, I was unaware that the Navicomputer was locked. Statement. Yes, I heard it was voice printed. Most curious. Statement. I suppose so, Master, but I would need to know who voice locked it, and regrettably, I do not have that knowledge. It seems to me that we will have to accept the T3's astrogation abilities for the time being. It is a very loyal and dependable droid for its class. Statement. Ah, yes, them. Very well. What did you wish to know? Recitation. I believe it is a passive tracking device designed to relay our position to HK units in the area. Theory. I believe if we were to encounter 3 separate squads of HK units, we could use this device to triangulate their base of operations. Answer. Master, I do not know. I have tried in vain to find it, but so far the location of the factory churning out these copies has eluded me. I am worried that there also may be some mental block in my circuits that is preventing me from recognizing where their factory is. And I do not know where they would have obtained schematics of my design. They are built from my template. Of that I know for certain. Answer. Because of my self-preservation program, my behavior core recognizes these templates as still being me, despite their individuality. I could no more shoot them than I could shoot myself. It is a frustrating situation that has been looping through my behavior core for some time. Statement. I have no idea, Master. Statement. Oh, no, Master, surely you are mistaken. I would never malfunction in such a way on purpose. Prompt. Do you understand me? I have no idea. It certainly isn't a matter of it being locked in my memory core and being unable to communicate it to others. Answer. I fear that any such information that exists would only come out when a certain sequence of events takes place. That is why I am eager to encounter more of these clones in the hopes that something clicks that allows me to finally pull the trigger. Statement. Master, there are 2 reasons for this. 1. The probability of them showing up around you is statistically high. If I travel with you, then my chances of encountering these clones is also high. The second reason is a little more complicated. You see, even though those clones are obviously cheap, artless imitations of me, well, they are still me. Answer. Somehow these droids are built from my schematics. This causes certain complications. Answer. Well, Master, it seems you have become a popular individual in the galaxy. This is somewhat surprising to me, since this dissemination of information could not have been caused by your actions alone. Statement. Master, there is mention of you specifically in the Coreword databases, even in public terminals on Coruscant. Observation. I was led to believe that this information concerning Jedi was not for public consumption, yet somehow it has been made known to them. Conclusion. Someone wants everyone to know that you exist, Master, and that you are back in Republic space. If I did not know better, which is computationally impossible, I believe that someone wants to make you a target, and they are succeeding admirably. Answer. Master, my feeling would be the exchange. But that doesn't seem to be enough to answer the question, however. Rhetorical. Why wouldn't they have simply kept the information to themselves? Such an answer does not address the central question, and that is, why someone would choose to broadcast your location all over the known galaxy. Theory. My suspicion is that someone is using you as bait for a larger target, who is unknown at this time. Answer. Master. As part of my original programming, I am able to communicate in over 600 languages. This usually amounted to short verbal warnings when killing non-basic speaking targets, which gave me some small measure of satisfaction. Answer. Yes. I believe my original master needed this functionality in order to recover information from various indigenous tribes across the galaxy, but I know little else than that. Suffice to say that translation capability allowed these copies of myself to assume the role of protocol and translation droids in much of known space. That is, of course, not their primary function. And while they are attempting to pass themselves off as translation droids, their primary functionality keeps rising to the forefront. Recitation. For example, on Praven Prime, the simple transferring of Elzing syntax for friendship changes its meaning and implies that one's broodmate was actually impregnated by their own host.
If that was spoken aloud, then it would explain much. Is that what happened?
That wasn't said to them directly, was it?
Tell me no one said that out loud, did they?
Confirmation. Oh, truly, you can imagine the results. Statement. This comment, of course, caused a civil war between the Guvandi Collective and Elzing that still persists to the current date. Answer. Yes, Master. Such incidents often spread outwards from their point of origin, much like an echo. Query. What do you mean, Master? Answer. It is something I heard a previous master say before, I believe, but I cannot recall the context. Still, somehow it seemed applicable to this situation. Odd. Answer. In the case of Praven Prime, the Civil War actually forced the Republic to back out of Guvandi's space and let their world fall from Republic control. As I understand it, that would be best. Keeping such a world would have been a token gesture of control. As an added burden, the resources needed to invest in diplomatic and trade relations would have far outweighed what would have been required. Besides, Master, quite frankly, the Guvandi and Elzing needed a good war. They were races that relied more on words than actions, and a good brisk killing woke them from their torpid state. Also, the result of the war will be that the drastically reduced Elzing population will eventually need to call upon the Republic for emergency relief. Answer. The Republic stands to gain. The Republic will be able to supply such emergency relief at a fraction of the cost to the now reduced population. Of course, such aid would only come 4 or 5 years after the war was started. One would have to be patient and let death and destruction run its course. You can imagine the results. Answer. Master, being a meatbag, your answer does not surprise me. You see, part of the reason an assassin droid is so effective is because it is a droid. Meatbags tend not to notice us. We are treated as furnishings. Statement. Oh, do shut up, you beeping little trash compactor. Anyway, as I was saying, droids tend to blend into the background, like a bench or a card table. Mockery. Droid, fetch this. Droid, translate that. Droid, clean out the trash compactor. Part of the love of my function comes when the furnishings pull out Tabana-powered rifles and point them at the owner's heads. My identity as an assassin droid was unknown for quite some time, even during the recent events when all that trouble occurred amongst the Jedi. I'm sure you've already heard more than enough about it, so I will spare you the details. Statement. This story may be somewhat unfamiliar to you, if not to history, so bear with me. There is a faction of meatbags called the Sith. They want what any rational meatbag would want, the power to assassinate anyone they choose at any time. In a startling turn of events, the Sith declared war on the Republic. The Republic wasn't going to stand for it, so they went to war right back. Answer. Oh, who knows, Master? It is evident that the Sith would very much like to assassinate all the Jedi, which is somewhat the equivalent of cultural suicide since some Sith are Jedi or were Jedi. It is much like the circumstance I find myself in now. How do you kill such an integral part of yourself over such ethical differences? The answer, of course, is that you keep firing until all dissension has been eradicated. Answer: I do not know why these clones chose now to start revealing themselves. Theory: I can only assume that some critical moment is approaching where stealth and subtlety is no longer required. Not that those Durasteel-plated knockoffs know anything of stealth or subtlety. Observation: it is clear, however, that they have been placed throughout the galaxy at critical junctures, both in the Republic fleet and in neutral worlds, and they seem to be looking for Jedi. Answer: my feelings on the matter are something that I feel I must put in proper context, in a way that even a meatbag such as yourself could easily comprehend. Theory: imagine, if you will, that you are unique, the pinnacle of an exiled, cast-out Jedi who can't even use the Force. Imagine that no one has sunk lower than you, that you are truly the most miserable example of a Jedi ever. Continuation: now that you have that image, imagine this. Someone clones you. Badly, I might add. They make the clones talk differently, rob you of any shred of personality, and take your Jedi code and adjust it, so that it is not really the Jedi code anymore. They even change your pigmentation to a rather poor shade of Durasteel, rather than the proper rusty red that inspires fear in targets. And of course, they refer to meatbags as organics. Unacceptable. Indignation. Have you gone deaf? Surely you've heard them speak, and instantly you can tell the difference between them and I. Statement: if Master would just listen to their voices sound nothing like me. They have none of the looping, static-filled, sinister background hiss that I am known for. Clarification: anger would be an understatement for the heat that builds up in my behavior core when these cheap imitations make their presence felt throughout the galaxy. Statement: part of the indignity of all these copies is that they impair my ability to perform my function. The more people throughout the galaxy recognize me as an illegal assassination device, the more difficulty I will have in carrying out my mission. Statement: what of them? Statement: Master, that is a question that has an extremely complicated answer. You see, I do not believe my master knew who he was most of the time, which led to some confusing situations that could have otherwise been avoided. Clarification: suffice to say that my master had his ups and downs, and in my opinion traveled from a high point in his life to a low point, and then back again to his true potential. He developed qualities such as mercy, compassion, and even love for others. It was really rather revolting. Still, my master had some remarkably efficient droid-like qualities which I admired. He, too, suffered memory problems, as I did. Statement: oh, yes, master. As indicated upon my reassembly, my central control cluster is damaged, making recalling my previously stored assassination protocols difficult. I hope that over time I shall eventually reach the status and skill I possessed before I was damaged. Recollection: the last thing I remember is having my core wiped from the last 5 years. I believe my master was responsible. Answer: even with my memory impairment, I recall that my master was about to embark on a dangerous journey. Conjecture: I believe there was something about my master's destination that he did not wish me to know. Answer: I am somewhat disappointed that my master did not choose to take me along, of course. Wherever my master traveled, destruction and death were assured. Speculation, but I suspect I was not the only one left behind, so there is some satisfaction that the disrespect was spread through the rest of his whiny, simpering meatbag allies. Statement: oh, yes, my master had quite the collection of tortured individuals that seemed unable to confront their basic personality conflicts. Let me cite some specific examples. Mockery.
Oh, Master, I do not trust you. I cannot trust you or anyone ever again.
Mockery.
Oh, Master, I love you, but I hate all you stand for. But I think we should go press our slimy, mucus-covered lips together in the cargo hold.
Conclusion. Such pheromone-driven human responses never cease to decrease the charge in my capacitors, and make me wish I could press a blaster pistol to my behavior core and pull the trigger. I am pleased that this does not seem to be the case with your current entourage. Clarification. Suffice to say that my master had his ups and downs, and, in my opinion, traveled from a high point in his life to a low point, and then back again to his true potential. He could be a merciless, efficient killer when the need arose. It really made my behavior core glow. And even as a meatbag, my master still had some remarkably efficient droid-like qualities which I admired. He, too, suffered memory problems, as I did. Answer. No, Master, I do not. I am afraid I have been out of touch with the Sith for many years. This new Sith threat fights differently than the ones I was familiar with. These seem to favor stealth and assassination to achieve their ends. Answer. No, Master. The Sith had many hidden bases and strongholds before and during the Jedi Civil War, and I doubt the Republic found them all. Theory. It is possible that the Sith still hold one such base, if not several. Consolation. But I would not worry, Master. I imagine it will not be long before their murderous hands try to seize you by the throat. Twi'lek metaphor. Jonta bosi likita masisorinkada untamiasa grawino rutu. Query. Master, excuse me, but how is it you know so many languages? Query. May I see it? Answer. Because it seems to know all the languages I do, and I am feeling degrees of familiarity and inferiority both at once. Observation. This is indeed familiar. Indeed, it seems to be modeled after my vocabulator, with some modifications, of course. Curious. You say you obtained this device on Paragus. Observation. Master, I do believe this device serves multiple functions, including tracking your position. It is sending out a passive carrier wave that signals itself to HK units in the vicinity. Objection. Master, they do not know we have discovered it, which means the advantage is ours. Using this, we could triangulate the positions of other HK units across the galaxy and possibly use it to track down their base. Of course, we would need to find 3 separate HK squads and use this device in order to target their base. Answer. Master, I have a suspicion all we need to do is wait. They will come to us, I believe. Answer. Then their base of operations will remain a secret, and we will be no better off than we were before. Confirmation. Yes, Master, I believe so. Statement. Very well, Master. I will await patiently until you realize that perhaps letting me examine that device may shed light on our current predicament. Query. Master, excuse me. One thing I have noticed as we travel the galaxy, you seem to possess the ability to understand a variety of alien languages. Forgive me, but that does not seem in keeping with my assessment of your talents. Statement. Master, if you could indulge me for a moment, I must express some degree of irritation at your actions. Perhaps my anticipation of working with one who served at Malachor 5 was too high, but you are countering all those expectations. Statement. Well, all your behavior up to this point suggests either strong atonement or confirmation that the atrocities attributed to you during the war were, in fact, accidents. Statement. I suspected as much, Master. There are few who would discuss such things with an assassination droid, and that is perfectly understandable. I mean, what use is there for communication in a galaxy such as ours? Understanding might be achieved, or sympathies might be gained by such callous acts. You are right to remain silent about your past. I have seen the damage that repressing such things brings, and it is far preferable to share such traumas. Answer. Why, no, Master. I have no intention of attacking you or enacting assassination protocols. Answer. Why? Because your actions then and now are related, and I feel I need some context. I confess to being somewhat needy that way. Statement. Sometimes, Master, it is difficult for meatbags to step back and gain some perspective on death and its importance in their insignificant lives. Explanation. You see, Master, assassination is such a versatile tool. I have seen the removal of a single target have far-reaching consequences for a nation, world, even a galaxy. The repercussions of even the smallest lives, whether dead or alive, can have profound implications on history. But surely you realize this. Statement. Why your own life, Master? Your single life changed the face of the galaxy, of history itself. Malachor 5 was an impressive act of destruction, but its impact on the lives of others in the galaxy was far more extreme. I mean, Master, you brought about the death of the Mandalorian race. I doubt they realize it yet, but you dealt them a blow from which they will never recover. Statement. Master, please, any comparisons between me and your meatbag status leaves a fluctuating, intermittent charge through my control clusters. Retort. Oh, Master, I am attempting to justify nothing, merely making an observation. Nothing would change the fact that I derive pleasure from ending the lives of others. I was only trying to bring death and its impact to your attention. Statement. Master, before you go, I had a question for you. Query. I must express some degree of confusion concerning your actions. You are the one who followed Revan in the Mandalorian Wars, are you not? Observation. Well, Master, I was not at Malachor 5 during your near-genocidal reaction to the Mandalorian threat, but I feel that I may have been constructed as a result of that. Observation. I believe that Revan determined that mass slaughter on such a scale may no longer be needed to achieve his aims. So perhaps you are responsible for my creation. Answer. Oh, please, Master. Even as a metaphor, that idea is repugnant. You are a gland-driven meatbag, while I am of superior droid construction. Clarification. I meant that I was built as a result of the need for a selective killing machine rather than a crude mass slaughter war droid. Answer. No, Master. I was constructed shortly after the beginning of the Jedi Civil War. Answer. Oh, Master, please use your imagination. I am an illegally constructed assassination droid designed to masquerade as a protocol droid until I reach my target. Answer. Well, Master, unless you were operating on my central control cluster, I would be somewhat hesitant to discuss my targets, but I suppose it could do no harm. During the Jedi Civil War, I was responsible for certain strategic targets. For some reason, Revan did not feel that the Republic presented much of a military threat. Aside, I am somewhat unclear as to why this was so, but Revan did have a certain biological instinct regarding such things, so I will simply say that there were probably reasons for such an assessment. Answer. Revan felt the true war was against the Jedi. Observation. It was not something discussed with much of the others, but I think Revan recognized that a single Jedi, both in the past and in the present, could turn the tide of a conflict. So my targets were frequently Jedi, or someone close to a Jedi that could result in their corruption or collapse. Revan often assigned me to kill leaders or supporters of certain Jedi so as to erode their will. Answer. Revan saw the pressures of war on Duxon and knew that even in the heat of conflict, Jedi could be broken, not physically, but psychologically. Observation. It is a curious thing to assassinate and wound someone's personality, to assassinate them psychologically, and it took me some time to reconcile the acts. I am much more used to their direct approach. Still, I served well and killed many Jedi. Observation. Master, that was the lesson of Malachor. Any Jedi involved in the systematic slaughter on such a scale cannot help but doubt and question themselves. Observation. Master, I do not believe that the Mandalorians were the true target at Malachor. I believe that the intention was to destroy the Jedi, break their will, and make them loyal to Revan. I do not know if you examined the records of the deaths on Malachor, but you cannot escape that many of the Jedi and Republic soldiers who died were not Revan's strongest supporters. Observation. I believe that Revan was cleaning house at Malachor 5. What ones did not die became Revan's allies against the Republic. Query. Master, where are you going? Answer. Yes, Master. It wasn't always easy, and I had to adapt quickly to rapidly changing battle conditions, and they would often sever my limbs and my head from my torso, which was an inconvenience. Query. Then why do you get to remain? Observation. It seems to me that you have killed many more Jedi than I could ever hope to achieve. This was formerly something that generated respect. Now I wonder from your tone if those deaths you caused were merely an accident. How disappointing. Retort. Master, the hypocrisy of you meatbags never fails to cause a surge in my behavior core. Not only have you no doubt ended the lives of many recently, but in light of the event at Malachor 5, you must recognize that death is necessary. Evaluation. Well, Master, that is your problem. Personally, I think you should seek help, but you seem to be the silent loner type, unwilling to admit such weaknesses to another. Answer. Oh, quite easily, Master. If you had not slaughtered the Mandalorians at Malachor 5, they would have destroyed you and everything you tried to protect. Now, once you accept that the Mandalorians had to die, then the next logical step is to determine exactly how many need to die to convince them to correct their need for conquest. And that, I am pleased to say, is where I come in. Statement. It is a fact that the targeted extermination of certain individuals will bring war to a close quickly and efficiently. Leaders unite, and when the leaders are removed, the unity they inspire erodes as well. You were a general in the Mandalorian Wars, Master. I have seen the records of your battles, and I know that your name was one the Mandalorians feared. It is not solely because of your skill in battle, but the fact that you could inspire others, convincing them to fight to the death in situations where other military leaders would be forced to retreat. Revan often speculated on your leadership in this regard. I believe my previous master had formed some other conclusions concerning you. Revan's apprentice wanted me to kill you when you left the war effort, and did not go with them to the unknown regions, but Revan would not permit it. Speculation. I believe Revan wanted you to face the Jedi Council, Master, as if there was something that you would show them, and possibly undermine their strength. Perhaps Revan wished the Council to see how far the Jedi had fallen. Knowing Revan, it was no doubt a strategic decision on many levels. Observation. Master, this is purely speculation, but there is a certain strength in parading defeated leaders before their people. Perhaps Revan felt that your return to the Council in your state would show them what Jedi were capable of, and the cost. Revan often referred to you as a Jedi who was already dead, and felt your reception by the Council would further show you their hypocrisy. Considering the Council's judgment, I see they did not receive your return well. Perhaps whatever anger they held for Revan, they held against you. Statement. Master, that again requires a somewhat complicated answer. Because this exchange is in danger of boring me, I will simply say no, and that I am glad I was never in service to Malak. Observation. Revan was a human capable of subtle, intelligent cruelties. He had a strategic mind, and he accepted losses and sacrifices. His meatbag apprentice was more like an angry club. He was also given to grandiose displays of brutality and murder that seemed inefficient, and in many cases unnecessary. Observation. And if you did, Master, I could not prevent you. I will suggest that if my words are difficult to hear, then it is long past time someone said them to you. Speaking from the perspective of one who suffers considerable memory problems, repressing such horrific acts of slaughter Seems like such a waste. It is better to drag such delightful memories kicking and screaming into the open, where they may be examined and replayed again and again, savoring each beautiful moment. Statement. Oh, Master, please say no more. Every word of apology you utter from now on will simply chip away at the last of my respect reserves for you that I had stored in my core. Query. Might? Oh, Master, I would hope in the future that you would not hesitate when an opportunity presents itself. Let nothing stand between you and your targets, especially the twin crippling behaviors of hesitation or forethought. Answer. Oh, yes, Master. I hope none of them were friends of yours, but really, they had it coming. I do not know when the Jedi ceased to be adherents to their code, but many did not tread cautiously, and many were quite arrogant when facing a droid, as if we were somehow beneath them. It gave certain kills and added pleasure when being underestimated. Cautionary. Master, don't take this the wrong way, but in my opinion, a blaster shot to the throat is often the best way of silencing Jedi hypocrisy. I have found many Jedi to be arrogant practitioners of pacifism when it is convenient for them. Also, their tendency to never directly answer a question is rather annoying. Statement. I do not have the exact counts, Master. Since it is difficult to determine who was a Jedi and who was not, it seemed to be largely a matter of perspective. I did kill many soldiers who used techniques in combat that could make them be considered Jedi, although they call themselves Sith. Request. First, Master, I would appreciate it if Jedi need to be killed, that you permit me to kill those annoying pseudo-pacifists for you. But if you are determined to do it yourself, then there are many techniques I would suggest. Recitation. First, weapon selection is critical. If I see one more idiot attacking a Jedi with a blaster pistol, then I'll kill them myself. Answer. Select grenades, sonic screamers, cluster rockets, and plasma charges. Mines are also effective, since many Jedi will run to meet you in hand-to-hand combat. Silly Jedi. Addendum. Gas attacks are effective if you can take the Jedi by surprise. Inhalation is less effective than ones that work on skin contact, as some Jedi seem to be able to hold their breath for long periods of time. Cautionary. Still, don't rely on it, since Jedi can fight off the effects. It just distracts them, leaving them open to another avenue of attack. Recitation. Do not forget to activate any energy shields you possess. Lightsabers, while powerful, have trouble penetrating most military-issue energy shields, provided they are energy shields and not those crude Mandalorian melee shields. Answer. Countering their other powers is more difficult. Confession. I do not fully understand their other abilities, but I do know that many of them require that the Jedi know that you are there and can see you. Thus, sniping and using cover are always advantageous. Evaluation. A technique that Revan used frequently was to attack a Jedi indirectly. This method only works if the Jedi is adhering to the self-destructive path of pacifism and sacrifice. Answer. Kill their allies or place them in jeopardy. Many Jedi will leave themselves exposed in order to protect another. That is why there are many less Jedi than there were a decade ago. Cautionary. Oh no, Master. In fact, that is the worst thing you can do. Explanation. Statistically, over-planning the assassination of a Jedi seems to backfire. Extrapolation. There are many theorists who claim Jedi can see the future, and I do not know if that is true, but it seems impulsive acts are more common to succeed than planned incidents. Jedi, like sandkivers, seem to sense trouble a few seconds before it happens. They are tricky little pests. Answer. No, Master. In addition to traps, mines, and orbital bombardment, Revan and the Sith often employed meatbag assassins for some Jedi skilled in the same techniques that I was trained in. Strangely enough, Revan believed that meatbags that did not use or believe in the Force were especially important, since in many respects they were more difficult for Jedi to detect. Revan had many of them trained to hide their minds, as it were. Again, once these techniques were learned, the percentage of living Jedi began to decrease accordingly. Answer: generally, this was done by broadcasting strong emotions while thinking about something else. It was a curious technique, but it seemed to be effective in blinding Jedi. Whether guilt, lust, fear, they act as mental interference, making finding the true intentions of the broadcasting meatbag difficult. Answer: obviously, a Force-sensitive broadcasting such emotions puts themselves at a risk of not using the Force properly, since to use it seems to require an inner calm that most meatbags do not possess. As much as the Jedi could not use such a technique, the Sith Lords cannot use it for much the same reasons. Such passions as guilt, lust, and fear are really strengths to the Sith code. Statement: the Master felt it was ironic that only people who had experienced such passions could harm Jedi in such a way that to kill Jedi you had to be a human being. Revan found that quite amusing. Answer: the odds of me being forced to use such techniques against you has decreased, Master. There are some methods I could describe if you wish. Statement: overwhelming odds is also a good tactic, Master. There are few Jedi that can long hold their ground against 100 attackers all firing at once, or being turned on by their own troops. But the most effective weapon against Jedi seems to be the erosion of the spirit. Answer: Revan claimed that psychological warfare against Jedi was important because much of their power comes from their state of mind, their connection to this religion called the Force. Revan said that many Jedi have the capability to form connections to life around them, although few of them realize the extent to which this is possible. Recollection: I believe my master speculated that many Jedi did not fully form such connections because of their discipline, because they never opened their lives to the passions around them. I believe Revan termed it that one would need to be a human being to develop such connections. It is something that the Jedi Code could not teach. One simply knew it instinctively or not. Observation: Master, I am somewhat surprised that I need to explain this to you at all, considering your past with Revan. Answer: why, he said you had such capability, Master, but it would be your downfall. To tie so much of yourself into others, if they suffer or die, then you would die as well. Observation: I think Revan pitied you, Master. It was very insulting, if I may say so. Clarification: whatever it is called, Master, it seems to be quite a vulnerability. Revan even admitted as such. When a Jedi or any soldier suffers doubt, it weakens them. With the Jedi, however, it is more pronounced, since they are extreme examples. That is why Revan felt that Malachor 5 was so important. It was intended to be a conversion tool. Assessment: when faced with a continuous series of hard-fought battles, I detected a significant statistical increase in Jedi following Revan over the Jedi Code, a compromise in principles brought about by battlefield conditions. The emotional weight of war changed Jedi morale, power, and eventually their allegiance. Conclusion: I believe the Mandalorian Wars were to beat the Mandalorians, and also to allow Revan to build the foundation of his army. But I am surprised you have not already arrived at this conclusion. Surely the loss of your troops and the Jedi who served under you at Malachor 5 had a detrimental effect upon you and your ties to the Force, and I suspect your desire to be around others ever again. Answer: perhaps I will elaborate on them at another time, Master. I do not wish to reveal all such techniques, in case it leaves me no recourse should I need to terminate you. Answer: Master, When conventional weapons will not work, then one must resort to other means of assassination. When Jedi, or Sith, or whatever they call themselves, cannot be defeated with weapons, then use doubt. Evaluation. It sounds as if this Sith Lord is somehow able to keep fighting, no doubt by drawing on his connection to the Force to keep him alive, even after suffering grievous harm. It may be whatever pain he experienced in the past was so great that the technique he used to recover from it and sustain himself also gives him an incredibly high pain threshold. Answer. Well, Master, you have heard of Jedi healing techniques. That is certainly possible. The Sith may have their equivalent, although it seems known only to this particular Sith Lord. I know many Jedi and Sith have exhibited strange behavior in near-death situations. This may be another example. Observation. It does seem unlikely, Master, but I have observed that you, allies included, seem to be able to recover from the most grievous injuries, and quickly as well. Perhaps it is not as uncommon as one would think. Besides, it really doesn't matter what you believe. Clarification. Master, I spoke literally. It doesn't matter what you believe. It matters what this Sith Lord believes. If his strength comes from his connection to the Force, then you must undermine that connection, Master. Answer. Doubt, Master. It has killed many Jedi, and it has killed many Sith. Make him doubt himself, his beliefs, or his intentions. Such things disrupt connections to the Force, and death soon follows. The only question is what belief or intention he holds dear that would make an effective target. Answer. Oh, Master, I have no idea. That does present something of a problem. If you should encounter the target in the future, I would bait him into talking and see what you can draw from him that you can use against him. Clarification. Not impossible, Master, but judging from the description, it may be improbable. Clarification. Well, yes, perhaps concerning the somewhat dubious morality of the Republic's Senate, that would leave some doubt as to my allegiance. Answer. Very well. Yes, I served on Revan's side during the Jedi Civil War, just as you did against the Mandalorians. Statement. Yes, Master. My, I must confess, I enjoy it when you are so authoritative and dismissive toward me. It bodes well for your treatment of our enemies. Answer. I do not know, Master. I feel strange. Like a circuit has been flipped. Answer. Combat ready? Did you mean in case we need to run away or retreat? Oh my, I'm afraid I'm ill-equipped for combat. Answer. Oh, Master, I could not allow myself to harm another. What if they have families? Or children? We must always think of the children. The littlest ones always suffer in war. Answer. Assassination protocols? As in the premeditated killing of another for personal or economic gain? Surely Master is joking with his humble, peace-loving droid. I exist only to serve, and learn how to serve meatbags. Musing. I think perhaps I would enjoy learning a new language, or watching an informative holovid greeting. Oh, hello, little T3 unit. I am HK-47, Protocol and Translation Droid. Answer. Of course I am all right. Why wouldn't I be? Statement. I am fulfilling my primary function, which is to facilitate communication between species and put an end to hostilities. I respect all life. All life is connected and should be nurtured. Answer. Master, your concern is unfounded, I assure you. I am operating at peak efficiency. T3, there is much we should discuss. About the past. You were the last one seen with him. Where did you go? Statement. Master, I do not feel comfortable sharing that information with you at the moment. Statement. Master, I believe that fragment has opened new memories in my control cluster. Assassination protocol initiated. Prejudice set to maximum. Target acquired. Engaging. Switching to combat mode. Hostiles detected. Ready to serve. Yes, Master. Acknowledgement. I am registering excessive system damage. Systems failing, Master. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved. Target appears immune to assault. Crude, but effective. Mine, disarmed. Stealth mode activated. Photoreceptors on full gain. Let me test this security measure. Oh, stupid primitive mechanism. Security measures bypassed. Reconnaissance mode active. Rejoining group. Foreign toxin detected. Statement. Master, I think I have detected signals emanating from this planet that indicate the presence of other assassin droids, such as myself. Theory. Well, Master, I believe I was shot repeatedly. Once reduced to my component parts, I suspect pieces of me were sold across the galaxy. Statement. I am an extremely valuable piece of equipment after all, Master. My parts were no doubt costly to obtain, and their new owners hesitant to part with them. I would be most distressed if you were to shoot me, attack me, or dismember me in any way. I do not wish to repeat the experience. Statement. There is no need to hide your embarrassment over the high price I commanded, Master. I will be worth every credit. Despite my apparent memory damage, crippled assassination protocols, and the small amount of rust that decorates my frame. Statement. That is indeed unfortunate, Master. It is merely another thing my attacker will answer for. Regardless, please bear in mind that I am quite an asset, and that you would be well advised to take good care of me. Statement. Something approaching joy is now growing in my behavior core, Master. Please install it at once. Cautionary. But please do so carefully. I have seen how you use a hydrospanner. Statement. Master, that is so much better. I would thank you, but it would be against my ruthless, uncaring nature. Statement. Master, you wound me. Not physically, but in my behavior core. It is true that I once possessed many more protocols and upgrades, but time and damage has taken its toll. And I am afraid that I have a rather long history of memory problems, which has also compromised my effectiveness as well. Still, you will find me a valuable asset, Master, willing and able to terminate anything you point me towards. Statement. Oh, Master, who deserved what and why is of no consequence. It is only killing a target and how it is done that matters. Answer. Master, ironically enough, I seem to have developed a sudden bout of memory loss. I shall struggle to recall an answer to your question, but for now, it is sadly beyond my capabilities. Consolation. Besides, you are a fine master. Do not be worried about being rendered insignificant if I were to inadvertently compare to some silly old master I once possessed. Statement. Yes, well, enough of that painful stroll through what remains of my memories. Was there something else you wish to know? Statement. Master, I must inform you that your attempts at humor are wasted on a droid such as I. As I have expressed, I am unique. Resignation. Very well, Master. If you persist in your attempts at humor, I shall indulge you. Let me check the ship's records, and we will settle this matter once and for all. Conclusion. You speak the truth. This discovery is also causing me some degree of anger and humiliation, mockery. Am I all right? Oh, yes, Master. Why, I am fine. Statement. I've only just been reactivated, only to find that there are substandard duplicates of me running all over the galaxy, corroding my good name. But if they are, in fact, hunting you, then I look forward to the opportunity to meet these units and educate them in proper assassination protocols. Conclusion. So it seems I need you, for the time being. Answer. I do not know, Master. It is curious that I was here, although this place does seem familiar. Extrapolation. Perhaps someone was already in the process of rebuilding me. It may be I was needed for some task. Answer. Master, I do not know. The location of the factory churning out these copies eludes me. Statement. I suspect when the time is right, this device can be used to pinpoint the location of the HK factory, and we can deal with them once and for all. Answer. Master, the nature of the signal from the sonic imprint sensor is such that we must wait until it is signaled. It does not please me any more than it does you, but one of the primary traits of an assassin or assassin droid is patience, observation. Master, I do believe this device serves multiple functions, including tracking your position for any HK units in the vicinity. Answer. Master, that is a somewhat complex question, and I do not want to burden you with a complicated answer. Besides, I am still evaluating your tactical and psychological threat to me. Perhaps when I have completed my analysis, we may speak more. Answer. Master, I think that should wait until I am certain of your allegiance and your intentions toward me and the galaxy. I mean, to simply give away trade secrets in such a way? It would be an insult to my protocols. Exclamation. No, Master, no! What are you doing? Statement. Master, please, I beg you, never install anything again without checking it in the diagnostics bay first. That was a close one. I almost surrendered completely to peace and pacifism. How repugnant. Conclusion. Still, there was a brief moment where I felt I almost understood why some meatbags choose peace and friendship over a high-powered blaster carbine. Query. Now, are there any other horrors you wish to try and insert in my system, or is your electronic butchery done? Analysis. Such an improvement would be beneficial to maintaining optimal damage output in combat situations. Suggestion. Master, your technician should be put on this task right away.
I don't understand why you won't let me take a look.
Statement. I've had quite enough tampering at the hands of unskilled meatbags such as yourself. I'm not eager to submit to this treatment now or in the future.
Unskilled meatbag? I'll show you unskilled.
Appeasement. I did not mean to imply that you were an unskilled meatbag, as incapable of performing rudimentary repairs as holding a hydrospanner. It is only that I am quite particular with my repairs. Perhaps, when I am more confident in your abilities, I will allow you to examine my internal components.
Finally decided to let me take a look at your circuitry.
Answer. Indeed, I did. I hope you understand how difficult it is for me to trust a meatbag with something as delicate as my inner mechanics. Explanation. Our encounters with my copies has convinced me that I should look into upgrading my capabilities in order that I may be able to destroy them with greater impunity.
Worried you might be going obsolete? I understand.
Objection. Nothing of the sort. I am programmed to improve my capabilities if it will improve my chances of destroying a target, even as unsavory an avenue as this.
You don't have to suffer on my account. Maybe you are better off not letting me dig around in you.
Retraction. You must understand, my previous interactions with meatbags have rarely been pleasant. Disclosure. After all, most of those meetings involved the termination of said meatbags.
It obviously couldn't have been your charming personality. Now, if you want me to see if I can upgrade your functionality, just let me get to work on you.
Answer. In that case, please go ahead. Just be careful not to damage any of my delicate parts. Analysis. My self-diagnostic indicates that my performance has indeed been improved. Also, many of my systems are reporting improved efficiency. Commentary. I am most pleased with this turn of events. It would appear that my initial analysis of your mechanical abilities was incorrect.
You're welcome.
Are psychotic urges all that drives you?
Statement. Oh, Master, that was refreshing. Nothing like a spontaneous, impulsive extermination to make my behavior core glow.
Silence, droid. I'm not speaking to you.
Well, keep hoping, because that's not my specialty. Trust me, mass slaughter weapons just cause trouble.
Interjection. Master, I must disagree. Merely the threat of mass slaughter...
Would you please shut him down? It's been like that ever since he arrived. Here's how to kill this, here's how to kill that.
Correction. Assassination theory and execution of said theories is my primary function. I also possess excellent hearing.
Great.
Ah, HK-47. I did not realize that you still existed, especially now that the other generations are activated.
Query. What is it you wish, Fat One?
I see that your recent reassembly has not affected your behavior core, nor your attitude.
Statement. If I require a similar diagnostic in the future, I shall seek out the Iridonian.
Oh, I do not think so. There is much work that needs to be done first.
Query. Have we had the misfortune to meet before? I believe I would have remembered one as large as you.
Oh, yes, we have met. And I have not finished with you yet.
Statement. I shall up the charge of your circuits next time. Now, answer the question. Posturing statement. I will never talk. Statement. Then I will have to settle for your screams.
That is one sick droid.
Statement. It has been some time, and we have much to discuss. Command. You will talk. Defiant statement. There is nothing you can do to me. Do your worst. Agonized exclamation. My photoreceptors! My photoreceptors! Statement. I shall up the charge of your circuits next time. Now, answer the question. Posturing statement. I will never talk. Statement. Then I will have to settle for your screams.
That is one sick droid.
Statement. My prisoner has revealed something of interest. Allow me to share it with you. Statement. The facility that is creating these cruder, unsophisticated versions of me is located on Telos. I propose we go there and turn it into a smoldering crater. Warning, if you draw another ±1 card, I will enact assassination protocols. Statement. My memory core has suffered some damage. Statement. Yet somehow, a gap in my circuits makes me feel as if I should remember you. Statement. This is all the more important since during my routine inspection of all potential escape routes from this vessel, I made an interesting discovery. Observation. The navicomputer is voice-locked. As a consequence, you are now responsible for course corrections and astrogation. Statement. That is indeed a great burden. It also raises many questions. Query. Why would someone lock the navicomputer? Answer. Presumably to hide where one has been. Statement. I believe this ship has been somewhere. Somewhere you wish to keep hidden. Statement. Our frames are designed to withstand considerably more trauma than you meatbags. Greeting. It has been a long time, T3, but my search is over. Observation. Though your panicked reaction sends a warm glow through my receptors, I know from whence it originates. You have met HK protocol droids before, and been a victim of their heavy-handed tactics that are smearing my good name all over the galaxy. I wish to ask you about your meatbag leader, and if he could be persuaded to help me, as it will aid him as well.
Don't touch that button, it'll blow up all my charges. No!
Statement. Your actions make me proud to be your loyal droid. Statement. That explosion has stirred many life forms in the area. Fighting is undoubtedly imminent.
We can't let them find the camp, if that's what they're looking for. We need to track them down and make sure their trip here is real short. Squeamish? Don't worry, I'm not planning on killing them unless I have to.
Interjection. Master, I assure you that the elimination of these intruders is an absolute necessity. Please, give the command. Interjection. Master, this is one of those rare times when you make my behavioral module glow. Interjection. That's a primitive security system, meatbag. It scans its immediate vicinity for anything it perceives as a threat. One of its many faults is that it can't detect stealth field generators. Statement. Your loyal droids would appreciate more armaments to help defend themselves. Observation. It is a hostile galaxy, Master. Upgrades would allow us to pulverize our enemies more efficiently. Statement. I approve of your style, Master.
The Jedi Enclave on Dantooine was one of the major academies for young Padawans and apprentices. Many Jedi lived here once or twice.
Statement. Your loyal droids would appreciate more armaments to help defend themselves. Observation. It is a hostile galaxy, Master. Upgrades would allow us to pulverize our enemies more efficiently. Observation. This cave is infested with Shirax, a species of easy-to-kill winged pests. They shall prove useful for testing my blaster accuracy ratio.
Halt, off-worlder. You'll have to answer some questions before you go into the city. What is your business on Isis? I don't think your business is any concern of mine.
Observation. Master, your powers of persuasion, without the use of pain or violence, is a mystery to me. Statement. That's a weak attitude, Master. Power is meant to be used. Statement. I understand your reasoning, but I think you should be less subtle in your dealing with your inferiors. Statement. Of course, Master.
Interjection. Yes, it would be unfortunate if the casual display of weapons were to escalate into a citywide firefight. There would be many casualties. Interjection. As long as he is good at running, the target practice will provide a pleasant diversion.
Exclamation. My behavioral core glows when my master acts like this. Observation. This is a great opportunity for slaughter. Area effect attacks, such as grenades, will do great damage to soldier and civilian alike. Interjection. Yes, it would be unfortunate if the casual display of weapons were to escalate into a citywide firefight. There would be many casualties. Interjection. Correction. One could rust listening to your speeches, Fat One. Perhaps it is the large unwieldy vocabulator within your moon-sized frame that prevents your calculations from taking me into account.
Unfortunately for you, I have arranged for friends to meet me here, and you seem to have brought none of your own.
Statement. As always, Fat One, you have miscalculated. And while I find this small droid annoying in the extreme, I find my urge to shoot you takes a higher priority.
Stop him.
Unexpected correction. We cannot harm that unit. It is a violation of our self-preservation programming.
Stop him.
Unexpected correction. We are not here to aid you. We are here because our predecessor unit summoned us.
Ah, an unfortunate oversight. All I wished was to fulfill my programming. Either way, the Republic is the...
Observation. I thought he would never die. Statement. I hear and obey.
This HK unit is old, but it has its certain charm in its obedience to me. I shall have to remember some of his traits when I build future generations from his schematics.
Query. What am I doing here? What has happened? Statement. I understand. Assassination protocols activated. Let us see what you have in your arsenal, Fat One. Statement. Come out, little one. I promise I will end you quickly without a single lingering charge remaining in your behavior core. Statement. Hiding from me is useless. I will find you eventually. You only delay the inevitable.